it's Deb back again with the August kits from Kitaholic Kits, and I'm making an off the page project. So I've got this olive jar, and we collect jars because we put honey in them. We've got bees, and we're going to turn it into a memory photo jar. So this is the end result, and I love how it turned out, and I tried to keep it simple and not go too crazy because I love to do that, and hopefully you can recreate this as well. So whatever jar you're using, you just want to measure from the bottom. Now mine, I think I did mine at 1.5 inches for the first strip, and just over an inch, just under an inch and a half maybe for the second strip, and that's how it's going to sit at the bottom. Now I didn't realize my camera wasn't recording, and all I've done is use some red line tape to stick that at the bottom of my jar. Now my jar lid was white, so I did grab some India ink. My black gesso would not, I couldn't get it opened. So I did grab some India ink and just paint around the edge of the jar because I did want it black. And we got this beautiful tulle in our kit, so I'm going to put it over the top of the jar, much like you do when you preserve something. I'm just going to use an elastic band to hold it there. Now my photo, I made my photo large enough that it could kind of bend and sit inside the jar without having the need to glue it in. I'm hoping that it'll stay there. If you're worried about it, you could put a touch bit of glue on the corners of your photo so it doesn't move in the jar. Now I did cut a bit of the circle, from the pattern that I use on the bottom, that black pattern with the leaves and that. I'm just showing some slowed down footage, and that's all I've done down the bottom. Was I used some really strong red line tape, or whatever it's called, just to stick them 2 layers at the bottom of the jar. And I think I'm going to adjust my photo. I wanted it so it was just sitting below the top of the pattern paper there, and then I'm going to start decorating the top up here. So I've just used an elastic band to hold my tulle on because I am going to use that pearl trim that we got in the kits to go around the lid there, so it will cover up the elastic band. And I do biddle and fuss a bit, and I will get a pair of scissors and kind of round the corners because they're square corners, so, and I didn't like that, so I do round the corners of the tulle there. I'm just going to glue that bit of pattern paper to the top of my jar. Now I ran out of hot glue sticks. I had my hot glue gun out, and then I could not find any hot glue sticks, so I was really annoyed. And I really fight with my 450 glue here, but it does do the job. It's a very, very strong glue, and if you don't like using hot glue, I recommend this glue. The only reason I was fighting with it was because there was just the tiniest bit in the bottom of the jar, and it didn't want to come out because the weather's been really cold. So I did grab an acrylic word off this, and I just kind of rubbed the back of it to get rid of the adhesive off the back. And I'm going to punch a hole in all these pieces because I want them dangling on the side. Now I did thread it onto the pearl trim to start off with. I tried a couple of different ways, and I didn't like the way that it was, the way it sat there. It didn't have much movement. So I do grab a jump ring and a lobster clasp from my stash, and I do end up threading it on that, and I liked it better because it was a lot freer to move about than just being stuck up against the jar if I thread it onto the pearl trim like it is now. Now I knew I wanted to use some flowers on the top of my jar. I mixed up this paint here with the Bicky Booten acrylic pink paint and the Colour Blast shimmer spray in the yellow. I do spray one flower in pink and decide no, I thought it was a bit too much pink to go onto the jar. So I do pull out the Colour Blast gold spray that we got quite a few kits ago. I'm getting really close to running out of this stuff. I've been using it a lot, and my spray nozzle stopped up. I don't know what happened, but it just wouldn't spray, so I just take the lid off and used a paintbrush and coloured up the rest of my flowers in gold. So back to my ephemera pieces, just going to thread them onto the jump ring and the lobster clasp, and I'm going to thread that onto, pop that onto the pearl trim there, and just use some glue to stick it all down, and then we'll come in and start decorating with some flowers and a few little things for the bottom of the jar. So I wanted to keep the bottom of the jar quite simple, so I thought I'd lay up some hearts, and I wanted to bring some gold down because there was quite a bit of gold happening up the top of the jar. So I layered that piece of ephemera, and I grabbed another heart from the chipboard, and it was gold, and I do bring in an acrylic heart from that acrylic sheet that I got the bliss from. I layer that on top as well. And I'm going to fuss about with my flowers for placement before I glue it down. And I just love how this turned out. So the possibilities are really endless here with these types of memory photo jars. I'd love to make a beach one with some sand and some shells that we collected on the beach with a photo of us. I think that would look cool. My daughter wants to make one with her concert ticket stub, and I think a baby jar, put in like little bits and pieces like the hospital tags and a photo, and decorate it up. I think it's just a fun different way to show off a photo. So I did keep it simple in mine. I've only got one photo in there, but we were out on an island where this photo was taken, so I love this collection for that. So I finished off my flower cluster with that butterfly, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I'm going to put the acrylic heart at the bottom. I'm going to slow down the footage so you can have a look, and I will have some stills. I'm sorry, it's a bit of an awkward project to kind of film and show all the steps, but hopefully you got the gist of it. Don't forget to check out Kitaholic's. All the links will be below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.